Alright guys, so initially I wasn't going to make this video so soon, but I was having a discussion the other day with one of my good friends who goes to church fairly often. And we were talking about what happens after death, and he said he didn't know. And this is a person that goes to church, okay? So imagine what your average everyday secular person thinks happens after death. They probably have no clue, or they think this is the end, or they believe some new age stuff like reincarnation. So there's just way too much deception going on in regards to what death is and how to prepare for it. I wasn't going to make this video so soon. I was going to wait maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, because it is a dark subject, right? But God put it in my spirit, and when God tells you to do something, you got to do it. So here I am now. Let's talk first of all, before we get to death, what is life? What is this life about? Okay, so we have to realize, guys, that life, just like a fetus is inside its mother's womb, it's developing its physical body. Our life here on earth, we are developing our spiritual body, our soul. And through these trials and tribulations, we develop our character and our righteousness to earn our way into heaven and be with God forever. That's the whole point of this life, is to develop our character, and it's also to examine our true nature, whether or not we're morally upright, righteous, or we're corrupt and wicked. God is trying to literally sift through who's who. So guys, there's a whole lot of ignorance in regards to what happens after death. And for most people, it's willing ignorance. They're choosing to be ignorant because a lot of people believe subconsciously that if you don't think about death, you're somehow immune to it. And that's a complete fallacy, and it's a very dangerous thought to have, because the last thing you want to happen to you is for you to pass away and not have a relationship with God and find out that He's real and that you were not prepared for it at all. This is my whole mission with this video, is for you to realize that the afterlife is real, and for you to make it to paradise. Prepare yourself for paradise. That's the main objective for this video. Because the sad reality is, guys, that if you walk into any shopping mall, if you go to any Walmart, you go anywhere really, you go to a park, the vast majority of these people are not going to make it because of their ignorance, or because they don't care. Either way, they're not going to make it. So you watching this video right now, that's a very good sign that you are going to make it. And inshallah, you're going to tell your friends and family about what I'm going to tell you, and you could save more souls to the light, kingdom of the light. Because the thing is, guys, when you neglect to find the truth about this life and death, and you neglect to praise God, to give gratitude, and to treat others kindly during this life, this trial period, you forget to pray, you forget all that stuff. When the day comes that you take your last breath, since you forgot God, He's going to forget you. And you absolutely do not want that to happen. By the way, guys, so throughout the video, this is an Islamic-based video. So throughout the video, I am going to be posting Quran verses back up what I'm saying. So what exactly is happening when you pass away? Okay, guys, so when you pass away, what's happening is that your soul is literally leaving your body to go to a higher dimension forever. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions that He takes our soul twice during this life. He takes it while we sleep and we dream, and He also takes it when we pass away. The only difference is that when we sleep, He returns our soul to our body to finish out the remainder of our appointed term of our life. And then when we pass away, He takes us to our destination, our final destination. So guys, first and foremost, what I'm about to tell you is 100% what's going to happen when you take your last breath. Okay, so hopefully, when you take your last breath a long time from now, inshallah, Lord willing, you're going to be prepared. Okay? So, when you take your last breath, guys, you're not going to feel anything. Okay, it's going to be like waking up from a dream. Think, for example, guys, those dreams where you're falling, you hit the ground, you wake up. That's exactly how it's going to be when you pass away. The only difference here is that you're going to see your body laying there lifeless, and you're going to see people mourning around you. And then you're gonna realize, oh snap, I'm actually passed away. I'm not alive anymore. Depending on how you lived your life, either righteously or if you're a wicked person, you're gonna have completely polar opposite outcomes of what happens next. Okay, so both ways, angels will appear. So if you lived your life as a wicked person, the angels are gonna show up as dark, shadowy figures. Either shadowy figures are gonna show up as black, winged, robed monsters, essentially, with blood-curdling screams, and they're gonna rip your soul away, painfully. And they're gonna be beating your face. They're gonna be beating your back, sort of giving you an initial punishment for your life of wickedness. And then they're going to give you a life review. Okay, you're going to be standing with sort of like a panel of angels. And God, it says this in the Quran, God says he's going to tell you of what you used to do. So you're going to see your entire life literally flash before your eyes, from birth till death. And you're going to see all the good that you did, all the bad that you did. And then there's going to be a scale in front of you. The weighing of deeds, per se. And if your bad deeds outweighed your good deeds, which would be the case if you're a wicked person, you failed the test. You failed life. So then the angels that took your soul, they're going to inform you that since you lived your life unrighteously and you were a disbeliever, you're going to be punished for all eternity. And then you're going to be on your way to down there. Okay, this is the reality for a lot of people, guys. Probably around 80% of people. So let's say you're a believer. Okay, let's say you're a person of the light. You made it. Alhamdulillah, inshallah, Lord willing. Okay, so when you pass away, you're going to be in a state of bliss. The angels are going to come to you and they're going to gently pull you away. And they're going to say, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. They're also going to do a weighing of deeds, a life review. But with this, you're going to pass with flying colors. And then they're going to go on to Jannah. You're going to go to heaven. Alright guys, so let's talk a little bit about this deception surrounding death. Alright, because there's a lot of it. So Satan, he's so good at his job that people are completely distracted all the time from what this life's really about. You look at the movies, you look at the music, you look at television, you look at the news. Everything is meant to distract you from the fact that this life is all about the next life. It's all about the afterlife, guys. It's about preparing to meet God when your time's up. But instead, what is pushed? Materialism. This is it. Enjoy life. YOLO. You think YOLO was made up by teenage girls? No, YOLO was started by the dark forces that had our society. See, guys, everything in this life is meant to distract you from the fact that this life is temporary and it is a trial period for us to earn our way into heaven. You know, everything in society revolves around material gain. Who has the biggest house? Who has the nicest car? Who has the most money? This is not a coincidence, guys. This is all by design. So what's another deception that Satan uses that's really popular? Reincarnation. Reincarnation is a belief from Eastern cultures, Eastern religions, that, you know, when you pass away, you're gonna be reborn in another body and in a different time. Right? This is super deception times a million. And you know, I always laugh too. Sometimes I'll go on spiritual YouTube and watch what the New Agers are talking about, and there's this guy that's really funny. His name's like Mateus de Mastios or whatever. I don't know, some Brazilian guy. He talks about like how he was alive during ancient Egypt. He talks about how he remembers all his past lives and how he was around during ancient Egypt and he was around during Atlantis when it flooded. And people just are eating this stuff up. I'm just like, guys, come on. If reincarnation was real, guys, then this life doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do, okay? Because you're gonna have another life to follow, to try again. So what's the point? If it's just non-stop, you just try again, right? Like a video game, you just have 99 plus lives forever. It doesn't end. It doesn't work like this, guys. This life is all you have, and it's whatever happens in this life, that's it. That's all. It's like all your cards are on the table during this life. Can't mess around. So obviously reincarnation kind of like lowers that fact, and it kind of tells you like, oh, it's okay, chill out. Like in case you mess up in this life, you got the next life to look forward to. Absolute nonsense, guys. And the reason why, okay, so this is really popular because the reason why is, so for atheistic people or people that are afraid that nothing's gonna happen, it gives them comfort that, oh, hey, it's not just gonna be all black and me sleeping for the rest of eternity. I'm gonna have another life where I'm just gonna continue my existence. Now, for people that have little faith or they have some sort of idea that God's real, but they're scared of facing him afterlife because they messed around too much, they're wicked, this also gives them comfort, accepting this truth in their eyes that they're not gonna go to hell, that they're gonna, in fact, continue in existence in the next life. Pure deception, guys. You know, in the Quran, this is really, this verse, when I read it, it gets me so sad for a lot of people. It's a very powerful verse. So in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that when the wicked pass away, they will be begging God for another chance to return to this life and right their wrongs to avoid hell. But at that point, it'll be too late. But there's no, after you pass away, guys, there's no repenting, okay? There's no apologizing to God. There's no second chances. I really want to get this message across to you guys that are on the fence and you're not living, if you're still living a life of sin, you need to realize, guys, that this is not a joke. Even if I lose a few subs, I don't care, okay? Because what matters here is to save your soul. So when I read this verse, guys, my heart goes out to these people. Because, like I said earlier, 80% of the people out there are not going to make it, guys. You go and you shop them. A lot of the people that you know in your personal life are not going to make it. So it's our job to bring them to the light and save them from this end that is unbelievably horrible. What is this life actually about? So what is the reality of this life and what is the reality of death? Okay, the reality of this life is that it is a trial period, guys. It says in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that every year he's gonna put you through one or two calamities to test your faith. Okay, so this is why you're gonna notice in your life every single year something bad happens. okay? Maybe you'll lose a job, maybe you lose a family member, maybe you might get injured, maybe you might lose all your money, whatever, okay? This is a pattern that you're gonna see that God literally tells you in the Quran. And ultimately, it's to bring you closer to Him, okay? Because what happens when bad things happen to you? You say, God, please help me, okay? You pray for your family member that's sick. You pray that you're gonna find a new job. You pray for all these things, right? So it's essentially working, all right? And okay, you might be suffering for a little bit, but ultimately, what is the end goal here, guys? Is to make it to heaven. When you're closer to God, you're much closer to making it to heaven. We gotta realize, guys, that you have to think of this life as a super vivid, super elaborate dream, okay? And so just like this physical reality is much more vivid than our dreams, the afterlife is gonna be way more vivid than this dream. You're gonna see colors in afterlife that you can never imagine. You're gonna feel sensations that are 1,000 times more intense. So if you're happy in afterlife, it's gonna be 1,000 times more intense. If you're upset or scared in the afterlife, it's gonna be 1,000 times worse. So yeah, I really hope that this message gets through to not only you guys, but you can use this knowledge and sort of tell your friends and family about death and what's actually gonna happen, because we gotta save humanity, guys, one soul at a time. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. God bless. Peace.